Ryan with Miss.Geek here, and we're getting to the point where it's time to power up the QDX Revision 4. And what I've done is I went ahead and just slid it into its enclosure, just in case I have anything bad on the bench. But what I'm going to do before I power it up, though, is we're going to spend a couple minutes just going over everything really carefully. Make sure there's no solder. What's the one I'm looking for? Any solder bridges or anything like that. So I'm going to do that. I'm also going to test to make sure that there's no continuity between ground and power. That would kind of be a big problem. So just going to do some basic testing here and come back. I've got my laptop set up with JS8 call, which is my preferred mode. I haven't been on in a long time, but it's been probably since the beginning of the year. Right now, I've got my call sign in, W7RLF, my Maidenhead grid locator. It used to be CN87 Golf Alpha, but now it's DM09 Juliet Oscar. Because I moved. So that kind of, that took me a second, I had to go look that up. But anyway, we're here and it's getting down to the wire. So let's, what we're going to do here, first off, I'm going to do the checks I was talking about, but I'm also going to look in Device Manager and see if we see the QDX get detected. I should see a COM port here, not this one here, but another one, and then we'll know. So let's take a look for any solder bridges on the board and do the continuity check. There shouldn't be any. And then it's going to be time for power up. I've got a USB cable sitting here. Brand new USB cable, actually, that my friend found in his garage, and he's cleaning it out. It's got the gold plating, so you know it's good. It's also probably manufactured around 2007. Let's see, does it even say on here? Oh, here we go. Dynex products for 2003. So, yeah, it should work great. Compatible with all USB devices, 1X or 2.0. 24 karat gold plated contacts for error free data transfer. Oh, wonderful. Yeah. So this is probably bought like at CompUSA or something back in the day. So it should work beautifully, however. That's one of the beauties of standards, is that not that there's so many of them, but sometimes they actually work out pretty good. All right, time to stop talking about it and get to it. All right, so I've gone ahead and checked the whole thing. The only thing I didn't like about the build was this diode right here. I'm not sure which one that is. I can't tell. It was off the board a little bit, and in the name of uniformity, I just warmed up the joint below it and pushed it in a little bit further so that it sat flush on the board. Not a big deal, but I just wanted it to look nice. They all otherwise are pretty uniform. That's it, really. So, oh, and I noticed that this wasn't sitting flush. It's still not sitting exactly flush, but I just warmed up the joints right here and here. Also went through and just tested continuity, make sure there was no shorts on these voltage regulators, and that there was continuity where there should be and not continuity where there shouldn't be. So it's now time to fire this thing up. So what I should see is, it's been a while since I've fired one up, but what I should see here is the LED flashing. Sorry about that. I should see the LED flashing and then go solid. So let's give it a try here. I'm going to try to prop up my phone. Usually I have it in a holder, but I don't right now. So give me just a second and we'll give this a shot. Okay, so not exactly optimal, but optimal angle for the shot, but I can at least be hands off and be paying attention to the radio instead of the camera. So let's turn on the radio. This is about 12 volts coming from 8 AA batteries. Let's give it a go. All right, we have boot up. That is wonderful. So turn off my DVM here. Now, question is, what happens when we plug in USB? So what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this around here. And we should see the QDX pop up. This is precarious at best. Let's try this here. I should see the QDX pop up in the bottom right corner if my phone doesn't fall down. And if this USB connector fits. There we go. Oh, that's a nice sound. QDX transceiver. Look at that. That looks a lot like success. All right, let's check device manager here. Looks like I accidentally pressed enter on something. And USB serial device COM4. All right, and I think we should also be seeing something else in audio inputs. There it is, QDX transceiver. So that's almost, I think that's about as far as I'm gonna get in this video. And there it is, QDX transceiver set up, ready to go. I do want to test to see if we can communicate with it. So let's go to radio. And we're going to select cat control. I've got to restart JS8 call here. Let's restart this. There we go. And let's check our settings. Radio, rig control. And I want to say this is supposed to be a Kenwood. I gotta flying around here, driving me nuts. Short drive. And I want to say a TS440S is the right one. I could be wrong about that. We're going to do cat. I want to say it's DTR. I could be wrong on these things, but we're just going to test it here. Mode, none. Split operation, none. TX delay can be, I think, 0.1. And hold PTT. And I think pull interval is supposed to be like 10 seconds. I need to double check that, but I haven't looked at the manual tonight. I'm just kind of winging it. Test cat. Okay, here. Let's try that again. Yeah, I think I got something wrong. But either way, I'm gonna look at the manual and come back here in just a sec. Okay, I went and looked at the manual, which very plainly says Kenwood TS440 and PTT method cat, data bits 8 and 1, and 9600 baud. I had those all wrong, but I ran test cat and it turns green, so it's happy we're getting cat control. Now what I can do, besides dropping my phone, what I can do is I can also open up my terminal emulator. I use one called MobaXterm or MobaXterm or whatever you want to call it. And let's see here, put in my handy dandy password. And I can go to session and I can do a serial console to, let's see here. Serial port is going to be COM4, 9600 baud. Should be able to just connect. Oh, access is denied because JS8 call is running and has control of COM4. So let me turn off JS8 call here. And there it is. QDX 105 QRP Labs. So I'm pretty happy. All right, I've gone ahead and configured my antenna, which just took a few minutes to set up. Basically run a wire out a cable out my garage door, and then close the garage door on it, and then connect the ground and my actual antenna. The antenna is only about 6 feet off the ground, running along the fence line next to my house, so not exactly a good antenna. And right now, I'm still running on battery. Actually, the laptop and the radio are running on battery here. So here's the radio, and it's just running off these AA's. So what I'm going to do, I'm running JS8 call, and I'm going to first just tune it, make sure that I get signal out, and I do, very little signal. And then I'm going to enable the heartbeat. Let's see, we're going to turn it on to slow mode. And then we're going to enable heartbeat networking, which I think is one of the coolest things about JS8 call. And then I'm going to send out a heartbeat. And that waterfall is not exactly clean. I don't know what that is. That could be interference from any number of things. All right, and it's about to transmit. So let's go over here, and we're getting about 1 watt out. So this is a 30-second transmission, and we're getting less than 1 watt out because we're running it, just off these AA's. They're probably around 10 volts or something, and this thing is wired for 12 volts, by the way. All right, so let's come back over here and see what we get for a response, if we get any. And I will be surprised if we get one. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything. That's just not very much, especially on this compromised antenna. Let me set up proper power here and get a few watts out of this thing. All right, what I did is go ahead and decide to do tonight is run the transmitter test. So I went in here and I enabled transmit for each band, and just checked my dummy load here. So I hit T for transmit, and I'm getting about 1 watt out, which is expected considering that I'm running it off of AA batteries. So that's actually pretty good. And these are batteries that have been in there for, I don't know, a year, and various things, running this speaker and doing various things. So that's pretty good. So we'll see what's next. Okay, so we've got full power out now, we got it hooked up to my 30 amp power supply now is what I'm trying to say. And we're gonna heartbeat here in just a few seconds. Let's see what we have for power output. Let me get this cable out of the way here. And we're getting just under 5 watts out, which is perfect. I could probably tweak the LPF for a little bit more output, and I will probably work on that later using a dummy load, and just test it, and then hot glue all the inductors. So that'll be another video actually. But I want to just see if we get any response on JS8 call, or if we can even be seen on the map. That'd be pretty cool. And maybe not. Oh, there we go. KB8 UVN and WD5 EED both gave me a heartbeat response. Let's go check the map and see if it updates relatively quickly here. It's been a while since I've used this map. I'm not adept at it anymore. And I think one of the display options we can do is to, let's see here. Yeah, I can't remember what they are. I think I have it set the way I want. Been a hot minute since I've used this. Yeah, but there we go. Got some spots. So I'm pretty happy. We're back on the air with JS8 call. The QDX is working, and yeah, we're back. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and set up the heartbeat working for the night and go get my power supply for the laptop so that it can run. And then, yeah, we'll see how it goes. So everybody, thanks for watching. I sure do appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, please put them below. And then once I get all the particulars worked out, I'm going to go ahead and just get this permanently installed. Probably get a different computer out here. Either that or replace this laptop because it's currently a work backup laptop, and then just leave this out here. So, and yeah, I could use the Ubuntu laptop or the what is it? Mint, Linux Mint. I could use that laptop, but I actually don't like messing with Linux on the desktop. So it's good. It's just I don't have time for another hobby, and it is a hobby all on its own. So anyway, thanks for watching, everybody. Sure do appreciate you. Take care, 73.